All right, Counterpunch Boxing. We're back with another one. How you guys doing out there in YouTube land? Look, I want to open up the video and thank everyone, for the tremendous support that you've given the channel. We're growing at an incredible rate. I mean, I really didn't think it would take off like it is. But maybe that's like a testament to what we do. Maybe. I felt like YouTube needed a channel like we're giving you. Honest. We're not biased, although, people might want to accuse me of being, a little bit biased or whatever. In light of the Kovalev Ward thing. And really, I'm excited to get back on here and, talk about another fight other than Kovalev Ward. But today, I'm going to give you kind of my, my top, maybe 4 or 5, I don't know, bullet points, or reasons I like the Loma and Walters fight. Coming up in 4 days. I mean, I was like blown away. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, I've been so wrapped up in that other situation that, I completely forgot that we have the fight in 4 days. It's incredible. But yeah, we have, Vasyl Lomachenko and Nicholas Walters on HBO, and it's regular HBO. Now this fight could easily be a pay-per-view, but it's not. But let me go over their stats real quick. I jotted down a few notes. I'm going to really break the fight down later, but I kind of wanted to just at least get a video out there and tell you guys, what I think about it and, what to look for and, what might happen. But, yeah, Loma, he's 6-1-0. Now, we know he lost his second pro fight against Orlando Salido. Orlando came in heavy, didn't make weight, rough fight, ugly fight. He should have been disqualified, but, the fight went on and Loma lost on the cards. Very unfortunate. Your second fight of your career, and we all know he can beat, Salido, but, man, it was just a bad night all around. I don't think Loma expected that, and I think, he kind of relied on the referee to make it right, and the referee didn't, and he ended up losing that fight. But yeah, Loma, 28 years old, made his debut 2013, southpaw, 5'6", 65.5-inch reach, coming off a great win against Rocky Martinez. Now, Loma moved up from featherweight to super featherweight, and he's only had, I believe, one fight at super featherweight with Rocky Martinez, and his power definitely carried up. It's always a major concern when you're moving up. Is your power going to carry up? And it did. Totally dominated Martinez in that fight. He got him with that uppercut, and then just to set up the hook and dropped him. And I don't know if you remember, but before that, he was on the Pacquiao-Algieri undercard, and he beat I can't think of the guy's name right now, but beat the guy with one hand. I believe it was the left hand he broke. Pretty much like went on to win the fight with nothing but a jab and a hook. A one-handed fighter. Just incredible footwork, incredible talent. They call him high-tech Loma for a good reason. He's very, very technical. All right, Nicholas Walters, the Axeman. Okay, 26-0-1, coming off that draw with Jason Sosa. He got robbed. He won that fight. In my mind, he's undefeated. I watched that fight live on a giant HD TV, and I couldn't believe. Only thing he could have let his hands go a little bit more. I think, he got a little arrogant in that fight. I don't want to, maybe not lazy, but a little comfortable. He got a little too comfortable in that fight. And a lot of guys do that, when they think they're ahead, and when they know they can beat the guy in front of them, they get a little bit comfortable, and he did that, and the judges called it a draw, unfortunately. But 27 years old, 5'7", he's about an inch taller than Loma, 73-inch reach. Now, wow, okay, Loma 65 and a half. I mean, that is an eight. What is that? A 8-inch reach advantage. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's for 8 inches, like from here to like right here. I mean, that's like that. I mean, that's a huge. You're talking like that. That is a big advantage. But yeah. Now, like I said, coming off the draw. Now he won the WBA at at a super featherweight from Nonito Donaire. And I give him credit for that fight, but Nonito Donaire had a lot of problems going into that fight. I'm not trying to take anything away from Walters, but he had a lot of problems going into that fight with training and whatnot. Vic Darchinyan beat him at featherweight. Vic Darchinyan, tough, rugged fighter. Now, the Rocky Martinez fight is the first fight Loma had at 130 pounds, super featherweight. I believe Walters has been fighting at 130 since about 2014. You might want to kind of check me on that. Could be a little bit off, but yeah, I believe he's been there probably for about 2 years now. But Loma looks good at that weight, and I really hope I hope Loma will move up in weight. Eventually. I mean, God, the potential at 140. I mean, if he could ever grow into like a light welter, man, just the potential. But anyway, the fight. Okay, we kind of need to think. The man behind me right here, Mr. Cardinello. I call him Cardinello because he's made out of cardboard. Canelo Alvarez. We kind of need to thank him and Bob Arum, for the fight. Merry Christmas to you guys. I mean, you're probably thinking, well, why would I need to thank him? Okay, let me break it down real quick. During the Liam Smith fight, Canelo broke his right thumb, right? I believe right thumb. And could be left, right. Anyway, broke a thumb. And because of that, he had to cancel that December 10th date on HBO. And what that did, that freed up money to give to Walters to make the fight happen. Bob Arum went to HBO, and he said, hey, our budget, we have a bigger budget now, and we can offer that, we can offer this kid more money. And they did it. He took the fight. Now, originally, I know a lot of guys out there, including myself, I will admit it, kind of accused Walters of kind of ducking Loma. But now, after, really looking into it, they only offered him $555,000. I mean, basically, they offered him $500,000, okay? $500,000, I mean, after you pay your coach, your taxes, all your fees and everything, after you pay all that, I mean, he might come out of that fight owing money, I mean, so I kind of don't blame him for not taking the fight. Now, he wanted $1 million. He didn't want, I mean, you got to think that sounds like a lot of money, but, and I kind of thought, well, that's a whole Al Heyman mentality. These guys want more than they're worth. They want $1 million and going, but they're not getting $1 million. I mean, out of that million, he might walk away with maybe 500,000, and I think that's fair for Walters. I really do. Because I mean the truth is we didn't even really know who he was until after the Donaire fight. Well, maybe the Vic Darchinyan, but a lot of you guys probably didn't know who he was after Donaire. But yeah, and we know Jim Lampley is going to be calling the fight. If you watched any of my earlier videos, I'm really not too happy with Lampley right now. He's probably going to, praise everything Loma does and, not give Walters any kind of credit. But no, yeah, Walters, he's really big for the division. Great chin, good power, long arms. But Loma, he's high tech, high tech Loma. That's what they call him. Great footwork, great angles. I mean, he reminds me of kind of like a Manny Pacquiao, Roy Jones, maybe like a Willie Pep, all balled into one, like a throwback fighter. He's got that great footwork. So Oh, and the accuracy, and that's another thing that I like to point out about Loma. Very accurate. I believe his overall accuracy is something like 70%, or right up there near 70%, which is incredible. Meaning that that's his connect rate. He doesn't waste a lot of punches. He does a lot of pitter pat, little pitter pat, but I don't really, count that as punching. But he's setting up a trap, or setting the, trying to get a guy to walk into a punch, that kind of thing. But the meaningful punching that he does is very accurate. I mean, I can't. I mean, not too many guys can, duck and slip anything that Loma, you know, throws it their way. But I mean, yeah, it's a great fight for the fans, and being that it's on free HBO, that's awesome. I mean, God, this fight could be a pay-per-view fight in my opinion. But you have to remember, Loma is no Nonito Donaire. He's not a Jason Sosa. He's not a Vic Darchinyan. I mean, this is a special breed here, and he is. I mean, he really is a talent. I mean, they both are. I mean, both are great, talented fighters, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I can't believe, I mean, I've like wasted so much time with the other thing. I mean, the other fight we all went through. I'm not even going to mention it. Man, I mean, I'm running out of time here. I've only got like 4 or 5 days, and I really wanted to get into it and break it down, further, and I will, But yeah, and I heard another channel talking about, and maybe you guys can look this up. Look up a fighter named Sandy Saxon. Okay, and Loma kind of reminds me of that Sandy Saxton, and just look him up. And like I said, when he has that throwback footwork and that throwback style, it's almost like an entertaining style. You know what I mean? Where I mean, it's fun to watch him. Like you watch him, and you're excited, and you're kind of like smiling at the same time. He's a lot of fun to watch, and and it reminds me a lot of Sandy Saxon. Satin, Saton. Like I said, go ahead and look that guy up. Incredible boxer. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got right there. I don't want to make it too long. As far as like a prediction goes, like I said, I mean, I just kind of wanted to throw out a few things to you guys today, about the fight, without getting too deep into it. But I mean, I've got Loma winning, and I thought about it. I've thought about it. I mean, it's pretty much speed versus power. That tried and true test that boxing always gives us. And I think in the particular fight, the Loma and Walters fight, I mean, I have to go with Loma. Every time I think about it, I mean, I cannot see Walters countering him or keeping up with that footwork, and especially the weight. Another major concern I have about Walters is the weight. I mean, he's had a lot of off time, and that's another huge factor in the fight. I mean, he's been off now for, I mean, what, like going on a year. I mean, he had that Jason Sosa fight, but I mean, that was not a hard fight for him. I mean, that was more like I don't know, man, like a tune-up, but so yeah, he's had a lot of off time, and I looked up a picture of him earlier today, and I mean, he ballooned up. I mean, he looked like a welterweight. Like it said Nicholas Walters on the on Google, and I'm like, that's not Nicholas Walters. I mean, that doesn't look, that does not look anything like him. But he had gained like a ton of weight, and I mean, I didn't even recognize him. So yeah, for him to have to drop back down to 130, to make weight, I don't know. I mean, he looks okay right now. I mean, I think he'll make weight. I don't think he'll have a problem making weight. But the problem is, like, during that off time, you balloon up, and then, you come back down, and, that's tough to where, Loma, he's been in fighting condition now for like a decade. I mean, the guy is like, always in shape. So yeah, Walters, he let himself go. I mean, like I said, go ahead and Google a couple pictures of him, and I mean, he looked like really chubby in the face and big and bulky, kind of like I don't know if you remember when Marcos Maidana, after the Mayweather fight like a year later, like you can hardly recognize him. So yeah, I'm worried about that, him making that weight, for the fight. But we'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to go with Loma by decision. I mean, I know Loma has that power, but I think Walters, he's a big, a big 130, and he has a great chin, so the only thing Loma needs to worry about really is keeping away from that. He's going to be headhunting. Just keep away from that power shot. If he can keep away from the right, he's orthodox. Now Loma is southpaw, so I think again that's going to work in Loma's favor and against Walters, because Walters being the orthodox fighter. We know it's that left right down the middle, just like, Pacquiao, that, like one of the, probably one of the most like famous punches in boxing, that left right down the middle from Pacquiao. I think Loma is going to definitely throw that left all night long and catch Walters, but the problem with that is the overhand right. You can counter a southpaw, that left, with the overhand right. When they throw that left, you come over the top with the right and you counter them. So he's got to be careful for that. But like I said, I think that footwork, he's gonna use a lot of footwork on him. When he does throw the left, he'll turn out. He'll pivot. In other words, he'll pivot out to he will pivot to his right. Like he'll throw the left and kind of turn out that way. I think if he does that, if he pivots and and if he's careful of that counterhand or counter right, I think he'll be all right and walk away with the win. Probably decision. I can't see Loma knocking out Walters, but I don't know. I mean, it could happen. I mean, he moved up, and like against Martinez, man, I mean, he had a lot of power. He really did. So it is a possibility. If Walters comes into the fight a little bit out of shape, a little bit of ring rust, and and it might sound a little bit crazy, but the more you get hit, you kind of build up a chin for it. You really do. Even in when you're like training in the gym, they'll you condition your chin and your head. You really do. So I don't know if Walters has been taking any real punches lately, in any kind of real sparring, but hopefully he I want to see a good fight, and they're building it up as fight of the year kind of thing. But I mean, yeah, I mean, we're coming off great fights. We had Manny Pacquiao, Vargas, and then Kovalev, Ward, and now we have Loma and Walters. I mean, just a great fight, and we have a couple more coming up before the end of the year. And at the end of the year, we're gonna do a long year-end review. We're gonna review the whole year of fighting, maybe a 2-part video. I don't want to make it too long. And I'm working on also, and I mentioned it before, I'm working on that Jack Johnson documentary, the first African American heavyweight. There's a museum near my house here, and I'm gonna go down there and take video, interview a few people. I've talked to his grandson. So yeah, I'm gonna just put together a 20-30 minute documentary, that kind of thing. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. I'll have a couple more videos I'm gonna put out today. Probably the screenshot with me talking over it, because I've got to head out. I've got a lot to do. But yeah, thank you for watching. And again, I always I feel so dumb asking, but please subscribe. The channel, it lets me know you guys are out there. Like I said, the channel is growing at an incredible rate, but the amount of subs we have is the most important thing to me, because it lets me know who's watching and how many people are enjoying what we do, because it takes a lot of hard work to put a video together. It really does. I mean, a lot of times I'll do them kind of on the fly, like the one I put out today. I mean, I literally just started talking into my phone, so. But videos like this and like others, we do a lot of research. We break them down. I'm trying to get an interview right now with Keith Thurman. I have an interview with Irizlandi Lara coming up, and the Charlo twins that I'm going to do. But I'm really trying to get that Thurman interview. I mean, I know if I went to the gym I could get it, but I'm trying to get a phone interview, because I mean, I'm in Texas, he's in Florida. I even thought, I could drive there, but man, it's like an 8-hour drive. So yeah, I'm trying to get that Thurman interview for you guys, and see what he's got coming up. you know, with the Danny Garcia thing. And oh yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna make a I'm gonna start putting out a few videos on Thurman Garcia. You know, it's another good fight we have to look forward to, but that'll be early 2017 in March. But yeah, we've got a couple more in by the end of the year that I'm looking forward to. All right, guys, I do appreciate you watching, all the support. Thank you for everything you've done. You know, I'm really enjoying what I do. I'm excited to get in front of you guys and talk to you every day, bring you the news, bring you the latest gossip and everything. Counterpunch Boxing, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it.